Hello everyone and welcome to this edition of Video Ask a Master, where we talk all things Mimio. This video is part of our What's New in MimioStudio 7 series, and one of the amazing new features for your classroom found in MimioStudio 7 is the ability to clone objects. My name is Paul. I am a full-time social studies teacher right outside of Cleveland, Ohio. I also serve a few capacities for Mimio as a Mimio Quick Learn instructor, as well as the Mimio Connect site manager. And I am super excited about object cloning because it is really going to be useful in your classroom. So what is object cloning anyway? Well, object cloning gives you, the teacher, the ability to make an infinite number of copies of any object within your lesson by simply dragging and dropping them. So for example, we could go ahead and clone any of the objects that you see there on my screen, and now either myself or my students could use the Mimio Stylus to drag those objects, and notice that as I drag them, we are cloning them. And there's no stopping you. You can go ahead and clone as many of these as you like to create an infinite number. Now you can imagine the possibilities in the classroom, and I'll show you a few items here in a moment, but this really allows you to make some really neat charts, diagrams, maps, all kinds of amazing interactive teaching lessons. Obviously too, you're going to be able to go ahead and provide kids with lots of opportunities to engage in the content, lots of opportunities at active learning. So let's look at how we go ahead and clone an object. I'm just going to go ahead and pull down my instructions. It's pretty basic how to go ahead and do that. What we're going to do, of course, is we're going to go into our Mimio toolbar and use our selection tool, and we're going to select any object on the screen that we wish to clone. I happen to have brought along this puffer fish here, so I'm going to go ahead and select him using my selector from the toolbar. Next, I'm going to go up to Insert, and under the Insert menu here in my MimioStudio Notebook, you'll notice that there is a choice there for Clone. It has a little circle and a plus sign on it. Remember that, that's important here in a moment. As soon as I press that button, you will notice that this blue sort of rectangle surrounds that pufferfish, and what that means now is that this pufferfish has been cloned. So I can go ahead and I can move my stylus over it. Notice that plus sign with the green circle comes back. That always tells me I have a cloned object. And there we go, as many pufferfish as you would like. Now, a lot of folks don't like that blue rectangle around their objects, and the easiest way to get rid of that is to go ahead and take your selector once again, select that object, then go ahead and go to Format, Locking, and Lock. And that'll go ahead and get rid of that blue square or blue rectangle and still keep the object cloned. Now let me show you a real quick example here of how this can be used in the classroom. This was an amazing lesson put together by somebody you may know. His name is Mr. Travis Rink. He is an outstanding science teacher from Kansas. He is also a part of our Mimio Connect staff, and this is one way that he uses cloning in his classroom. Basically what his students are going to do is they're going to come up and use these reveal screens to figure out how to create these compounds using his periodic table, and then the kids can go ahead and literally drag each element down into this circle here to create whichever compounds he asks them to create. Now there's just a real simple example, but you can see how hands-on this truly is. You know, taking that really static periodic table that you might have seen as a kid in your textbook or up on the board, and now all of a sudden here are your students with their Mimio Stylus actually touching the periodic table and dragging those elements down to build those compounds. Just an amazing use of cloning in the classroom, and I'm sure just by looking at this you guys can come up with some uses for your own classroom. Hey, great job, Travis. So that's how easy it is to clone objects in your classroom, and of course we want to know how you're using object cloning with your curriculum. So please do add a comment down there in the forum. I want to thank you so much for joining me here for What's New in Studio 7. We are thrilled to have you here, and of course if you do have any questions that you'd like to ask a real-life Mimio Master, all you have to do is visit our website at www.mimioconnect.com/askamaster. We look forward to hearing from you. Have a terrific day.